Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Zach Wilson and the Houston Voyagers taking on Cam Newton and the San Antonio Express.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fielded right around the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people...
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now it's Wilson. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He had a great strong move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. The numbers for Sanders last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Running right, here's Sanders. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 12.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. This is caught. It's close. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Yetur Gross-Matos. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Second and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, throw over the middle, secured by Gordon. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. And it's caught. Touchdown. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Voyagers marching right down the field on their opening drive to take the early lead. They gotta love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
And many people are having difficulty pegging exactly what they believe Cam Newton is at this point in his career. For me, when I see certain days and he's right, he can still be an accurate passer, can still get the ball downfield. And his running ability, especially inside the 10, still makes him a difficult quarterback to prepare for.
A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run. Here's Sermon. The tackle there by John Johnson. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
You talk about getting off to a hot start, a shutout right out of the gate. Think of the carryover headed into this one, the residue of that game. That means excellent practices, guys alert, ready to go. They'd love to hang a second one right here, right now.
On second down, it's Sermon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss. Throwing on third down, Newton.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. On 1st down, Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now it's Wilson. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They go play action now. Wilson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And fights through one man. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Newton now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And on now is the punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And Gordon's got it. And he's brought down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a give right side. It's Sanders. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action. It's Wilson. To Gordon, out left. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. Able to get this to Gordon. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
It doesn't matter where on the field he is. Even down here in the red zone, he is still slippery with the ball in his hands. And he was almost able to work his way into the end zone. Instead, they'll have to settle for 1st and goal, but they'll take it.
They run with Sanders off the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Voyagers are able to add on to that lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
Like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Back out comes San Antonio. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Flush to his right. Pushes him over. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. From the gun, here's Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Sermon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Allen Robinson there to make the grab. And the Express have cut it back within a score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And that one makes it 14-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. From the 27, Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. He gets it to Cooks. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not doing it. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Throwing again on second down. Wilson got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw again is Wilson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Josh Gordon there to make the grab. And the Voyagers add 6 to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now the try here for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Newton on 3rd down. Robinson's got it. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Baker Mayfield, 3 touchdown passes as his guys bounce back from the defeat on opening weekend. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This taken in at the goal line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Newton completes it to Hearns. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they get
their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Sanders. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
No, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Gallman will run it. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Wilson. Gets this one to his running back, Wayne Gallman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gordon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Sanders. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Rifles one complete into the hands of Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They'll give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal. Sanders. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Wilson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Rob Gronkowski with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Voyagers are able to widen their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back out comes San Antonio. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Newton. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. To throw is Newton. Airing it out for Hearns. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. On first down, Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Second and 11. Another run with Sanders. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
It's a first down and more for Gordon. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll run. It's Sanders. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down, back to Sanders. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 79 yards rushing now, as he's done it on 22 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
An option handoff given to Sanders. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. They'll run with Sanders. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The offense on 3rd down tonight? No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Going for it with Sanders. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Throwing is Wilson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Josh Gordon, his second touchdown of the night. And the Voyagers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back out comes San Antonio. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a first down throw for Newton. It's caught right side, it turns. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
56. Right there. 56. I got you, son.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton over the middle, the connection to Hearns. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Again, Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Newton to throw. That's caught by Jackson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
They didn't need much. They didn't get much. But what they did get was enough for a first down.
Here we go. Ready? Check tight. 5-2 is the money. Hey, watch the slap.
On 1st down, Newton. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They fake the give. Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but just show them a lot of different looks. And they did that in the first half, you know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Newton. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it's now 35-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run again here with Gallman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Third and 2. Now Wilson. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the home team here, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.